Lakers fans are absolutely livid at this, as Rob Pelinka has fallen asleep at the wheel once again, as the Golden State Warriors have made a huge trade for a much-needed piece in Dennis Schroder, and this has left Lakers fans wondering when Rob Pelinka is going to make a move. We're going to discuss the trade and discuss what this means going forward for the Lakers, as this has big implications for the Lakers, as they are looking to make a big moves themselves. Thank you for all that this episode. But before we get into it, folks, if you're a part of the 83% who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Los Angeles Lakers content. So if you're enjoying the daily content, make sure to smash that subscribe button. Thank you guys for your continued support. And ladies and gentlemen, there was a lot to go over today, and moves are flying, moves are going down, and the Los Angeles Lakers haven't been a part of the parade. You can see this here. The Brooklyn Nets are finalizing a deal to send guard Dennis Schroder and 1 second-round pick to the Golden State Warriors for DeAnthony Melton, 3 second-round picks. Sources tell ESPN, a dynamic playmaker and scorer has arrived to the Warriors. Now, there's a few things to go along with this trade here. So obviously, we saw this drop yesterday, and we were thinking, we kind of knew there was reports coming out that the Warriors were looking to acquire both Cam Johnson and Dennis Schroder in a deal. Ultimately, that didn't happen. The Warriors didn't want to give up Jonathan Kuminga. Now, when we're looking at how this affects the Los Angeles Lakers, fans are livid at the fact that A, Rob Plink hasn't made a move, and B, they didn't match this offer. Essentially, what it was, the Brooklyn Nets basically, I mean, they got the second round picks, but Golden State Warriors, they traded DeAnthony Melton, who was a pure cap dump because, of course, he was injured and the cap matched perfectly. So he gave up 3 unprotected second round picks in exchange for Dennis Schroder. Now, there was rumors, there were reports going around. Everybody thought that any team that was going to get Dennis Schroder at this point was going to need to give up a first round pick. I mean, he was averaging over 18 points a game. We'll dive into his play here, but Dennis Schroder would have helped this Los Angeles Lakers lineup a ton. And people are livid because they're saying, hey, why didn't Rob Pelinka pull the trigger on this deal and make the trade themselves? You look at their, their depth chart. You look at how their lineups have been going, especially in absence of LeBron James, and we're expecting him hopefully to come back soon. But either way, with LeBron or without LeBron, Dennis Schroder would have been a phenomenal addition to this team. You can see this article that dropped here, and I'm curious to see all of yours, kind of thoughts on this in the comment section down below. Do you think the Lakers should have made this trade? Because this article comes on to say, basically, Rob Plink caught sleeping as the Warriors make no-brainer trade the Lakers should have made. The Lakers missed on this reunion. We obviously know that Dennis Schroder was a Laker. He did pretty good for the Los Angeles Lakers a couple years ago in his time there. But Rob Plink and Lakers snooze as Warriors land Dennis Schroder. Lakers fans know Schroder well. Again, like I mentioned, in the 2023 run, he was a huge part of it. Now, they replaced him with Gabe Vincent, basically. And we'll dive into him a little bit. He hasn't been great at all this season, especially as he started to play a little bit more. He hasn't really been good by any stretch of the imagination. Whereas on the other hand, you've been thinking about Dennis Schroder. He was looking amazing. And that's why at this point, everybody thought that the Lakers were going to have, or the Warriors even, but at this point, the Lakers, before he got traded, were going to have to give up a first round pick to acquire Dennis Schroder because of how good he has been this year. He's having a borderline career year for his standards here. And you can see, so he's averaging 18, 6, and 3. Also plays some really aggressive, pesky defense that I think would fit really well into JJ Redick's scheme, but also just to help the team play better perimeter defense. And he's also was averaging 34 minutes a game for the Nets. So it's not like he'd come in and he wouldn't have to play 33 minutes a game necessarily for the Lakers, because obviously they're a much better team than the Nets. But when you're thinking about this now, you can see at the bottom here, and I want to get your thoughts on this. This is kind of my take here. Schroder would have lightened the load on LeBron James and made things easier for JJ Redick and the Lakers. He would organize the offense and get players open looks. King James averages 9 assists a game, with D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reaves hovering around 5 each night. Adding Schroder makes the Lakers less reliant on D'Lo to create and would give him a veteran to provide an instant boost. So when these reports and rumors are circulating surrounding Dennis Schroder, immediately your thought goes to, I mean, he could just slide in to be the starting point guard for this team. Now, obviously, they've been playing a ton of lineups with Austin Rivers as the mock point guard, even though, of course, we know LeBron James kind of been taking the point forward spot there. But they've been starting lineups with not really a traditional point guard in the sense of a Dennis Schroder or even a D'Lo. D'Lo's been coming off the bench a good bit. We've seen some Gabe Vincent thrown in as of late. We've seen, of course, Austin Rivers playing the 1 as of late. And in the absence of LeBron James, we've seen Max Christie and Gabe Vincent and Austin Reaves lineup. So they've been really searching to try to find a primary ball handler in both LeBron James's absence, but also when he's there to help take some of the load off of him. He's obviously facilitating more this season than a lot of fans expected. And that's because, again, we know JJ Redick hasn't trusted D'Angelo Russell. It just hasn't been something. We saw it earlier on in the season when they benched him, and JJ Redick doesn't have a ton of trust in D'Angelo Russell at this point. So what adding Dennis Schroder would have done is give you just a reliable point guard. And again, I'm not trying to proclaim that Dennis Schroder is some great facilitator who would have elevated his teammates around him. But that's why you have guys like specifically LeBron James, one of the best facilitators that we've seen and one of the best players we've ever seen at elevating his teammates around him, but also just providing, again, an offensive boost to the team that desperately needs an offensive boost. You look at some of their depth chart, which, again, they don't have a ton of depth at this moment. Austin Reaves, Max Christie, Rui Hachimura, LeBron, and AD. Now, again, this isn't this. We've seen the starting lineups as of late change and completely be fluid. Like I mentioned, we saw Max Christie. We saw lineups of starting lineups, that is, of Christie, Reaves, Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent's been borderline unplayable this season. We've seen lineups a ton with Dalton Connect starting to actually play a lot alongside LeBron James for a good stretch there. And of course, I think when LeBron James comes back, they'll probably play Dalton Connect, and he's been the star of the season for the Lakers. If you came into this season and you told me that a rookie in Dalton Connect would probably be the highlight of the season thus far, of course, alongside AD, and we know that AD has been very, very good, and a lot of that is because of JJ Redick, even though he's been struggling as of late. I'm not a huge fan of his rotations or things like that, but as you look now as to what is next for this team, it starts to get a little bit worrisome. Again, I don't need to hammer home how they've been horrible in the month of December and really dating back to late November. They lost against the Timberwolves. They beat a very bad Portland Trailblazers team, and they've been losing games against the good teams. Now, has it been an easy schedule? Absolutely not. Denver, Phoenix, OKC, Minnesota, Miami, like all these are fairly good teams. And the past few games, or the past couple games, haven't been, at least without LeBron James. So you're looking at it now. What the Lakers need to do, and there's been tons of rumors circulating, is I would have liked for the Lakers to at least match their version of this package. Now, again, it's 3 unprotected seconds and DeAnthony Melton. DeAnthony Melton is actually a very good, underrated player. The problem is he hasn't been healthy, so at this point it was a salary dump. If you watched some of the Warriors games, and I'm sure a lot of you have, watched some at least, like in a couple games, DeAnthony Melton was there. They actually looked like a different team. Now, as a Lakers fan, you're kind of thinking, why hasn't Rob Pelinka made this deal? We were seeing tons of things on Lakers Twitter and Lakers Nation saying Rob Pelinka, we're seeing him out at carnivals or wherever, at restaurants, wherever he is, not actually making trades. And he might be at a carnival. He might be doing all these things. He needs to make a move regardless. Now, again, whether you're on the side of some of the fan base wants to just trade AD, trade LeBron James, get as much value as you can, and then go into a full rebuild, similar to what the Brooklyn Nets did with Kyrie, James Harden, and of KD. But I think from both, again, a simple business perspective, from a simple business perspective, you're looking at AD. Sorry, you're looking at LeBron James. You're thinking, hey, you got to milk the last, little bit of time you have left with LeBron, because if you don't, it's going to be too late anyways. And then, they want to make their money. But B, I think they owe LeBron. I don't know if they owe LeBron. I think LeBron wants to have one final go at this, and that is going to be in the form of probably making a big move at this upcoming trade deadline, which is a couple months away here. Now, again, Dennis Schroder would have made a ton of sense. It would have worked out very, very well for both the Lakers, I think, at this point. And again, the Nets kind of traded away Dennis Schroder. Everybody thought it was going to be for a first, and they traded 3 seconds. Now, these seconds, date into the late 2020s, and I think 2031 may be the latest one. Correct me if I'm wrong down below. But it's at least a 2028, 2029 second-round pick unprotected, I believe, or something of that nature. Doesn't matter the exact year. Like, the Lakers, second-round picks at this point, yeah, you hit on some of them, but a first-round pick is obviously much more valuable. Now, luckily, he didn't cost it. If you're a Warriors fan, I think obviously didn't cost it for the Warriors, but when you're looking at it from the Lakers' perspective, this is good because it sets the market to a degree. And I think with all these players we're looking at, Dennis Schroder getting traded for 3 seconds. When you're looking into guys like Jeremy Grant and other players like that, that sets the market a little bit for the Lakers to be able to actually pounce and make some of these moves. And we're going to keep you up to date with all the latest moves. So let me know down below what your thoughts are on the Lakers missing out on this deal. And let me know, do you think the Lakers should have matched this deal? Again, thank you guys for your continued support. We're going to be posting daily Lakers content, so make sure to hit the subscribe button. And again, thank you guys for supporting. Let me know down below, would you do this deal?